Hey everybody, my name is Paul Esden Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. We're streaming live simultaneously in 3 different places. The Heavy on Jets Facebook page, baby, to over 30,000 New York Jet fans. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25, and of course on the Twitter sphere at BoyGreen25 as well. Before we get started, first off, we'll let a few people enter the room here live. We'll be on here for a good bit of time here to dive into some new details coming from an NFL insider who dropped a lot of different bombs. We'll dive through each of those. In case you haven't heard, I mean, they're right here. I'm Boy Crutch right now. There you are. Boy Crutch hopping around. That's where I'm at now. Unfortunately, had my 4th degree Taekwondo black belt test over the weekend. Got had other plans on how that was going to go with us. So just right off the top, before we can get to all the new updates on all that, Boy Green's kind of hopping around, but that's okay. I'm glad that we're back on the live stream. That'll kind of help me work past this. Got a knee specialist looking at it next week, and we'll see. We got a busy week this week with all kinds of great Jet stuff for all you guys. So hopefully you guys can really enjoy all of that. By the way, wherever you're watching, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, in particular, you'll have to jump from Twitter to one of the other 2 spheres for me to be able to see your questions. But feel free to throw your comments and questions into the section because this is a show by the people for the people. So make sure you get your comments and questions in. I see a few people in here, so I'll do a few shout outs and then we'll dive right into the news. Sergeant CBO, hey, Paul, hope your leg's feeling better. Appreciate it. A little bit sore, but we're working through it, rubbing some dirt on it. Braden, good timing. Very nice. Edgar, stop playing with us. I will. And come on, your boys in green, Iron Flag. I love that as well. So let's dive right in. Also, down below on YouTube, you guys can read one of our articles earlier today on some of these updates. And these updates come from Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated. We're going to walk all through all of the bits together. And on each nugget, we'll kind of talk about it. And feel free to field a bunch of your questions and comments about it. Albert Breer did this wonderful mailbag section where he was asked about the Jets. And he went into great detail into how he believes all of this is going to turn out, both for the New York Jets and others. So let's get into this right now on all these different updates, which again I find completely fascinating with this stuff as it pertains to, again, the New York Jets and what's going to really happen here in the mailbag. First off, one of the things that really intrigued me was the fact that Albert Breer came out and said that, you know, it's not Aaron Rodgers or bust for the New York Jets. He was clear that under, and here are some direct quotes from this, that under the quote unquote right circumstances, Aaron Rodgers would be the Jets' first choice. If Aaron Judge can throw a football, maybe he'll join that conversation. But Aaron Rodgers is the Jets' first choice. But this isn't, quote, Aaron or bust. The Jets are exploring everything. And here's a list of some of the things they're exploring. From Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr to Ryan Tannehill to Jimmy Garoppolo to, quote, even the idea of bringing Geno Smith back or luring Daniel Jones from across town. Hold the heck up. What the flying hoo-ha? What's going on here? The Jets would entertain what? And that goes back to a clip I shared on my Twitter account a while back that's also featured in the article down below. Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic found out from his Jets source that the New York Jets on this list, so they went a deep dive when they were looking for an offensive coordinator. That offensive coordinator list was 20 plus coaches long. For their Jets quarterback search, apparently the Jets have 19 quarterbacks on their list, whether it goes from the most likely to the to the least likely, and they kind of evaluated guys that quote unquote are the best fit. Again, more details in my article down below on YouTube, but we'll walk through all of this with you guys. So the Jets are considering guys like, okay, we've heard Aaron Rodgers, we've heard Derek Carr, we've heard Ryan Tannehill and Jimmy Garoppolo. What we have not heard with any direct sourcing is Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, sweet Caroline. Let's dive into a couple of things here. First off, I'll go to the Daniel Jones part first. I'm going to be honest. And I've been honest before on this show about Daniel Jones. We did do a video on Daniel Jones a while back that I'm going to be honest, I laughed when Daniel Jones was selected by the Giants. I thought it was hilarious. I did not think he deserved to be the 6th overall pick, but these quarterbacks don't get to pick where they go. That's what the NFL team's job. But nonetheless, I found it fascinating that, Daniel Jones, a guy that I discounted immediately, thought he was going to be a bust. And really, it looked that way early in his career with a lot of turnovers, a lot of fumbles. But Brian Daboll waved his magic wand and actually looked halfway decent last year. They increased his rushing total to an unbelievable degree, which led to insane production, over 700 rushing yards. His touchdown reception ratio was also very nice, 15-5. So Brian Daboll waved a magic wand and made Daniel Jones look as presentable as he possibly could. Here's a couple of things here. First off, the danger with the Daniel Jones, if he even reaches unrestricted free agency or is tag and traded, like, as soon as he leaves Brian Daboll, will this Cinderella turn back into a pumpkin? Will he transform back into what he once was? That's the thing that kind of concerns me, quite frankly, because even with the Brian Daboll magic wand, there was only so much to be had there, which is kind of interesting. And also, again, is Daniel Jones where we're shooting here? I want to shoot a little bit higher. I'm not saying he's the worst option on the list, but I don't know. I mean, there is something to sticking it to the Giants, but if you sign Daniel Jones for a long-term deal and he stinks, then who's really laughing at who? Whom is laughing at whom, I ask openly. But that's neither here nor there on the Daniel Jones thing. And then let's get to the Geno Smith thing, and maybe these two guys will be in the same boat. Both are heading towards unrestricted free agency, so it could be a tag and trade scenario for either Geno Smith or Daniel Jones, or perhaps somehow they're led to the open market. We also have this note in our article down below that in the 13 off seasons together of general manager John Schneider and head coach Pete Carroll, so they've had 13 off seasons together. They've only used the franchise tag twice in 13 off seasons. Now, I don't know if that means it's kind of like flipping a coin. Just because it landed on head 13 times in a row doesn't necessarily mean the 14th time is any more likely. It's probably still 50-50, but I thought it was a fascinating nugget that they've been somewhat hesitant to use that franchise tag in the past. So maybe they'll be hesitant in this sense, or maybe it's a placeholder for a long-term deal. Again, a lot of that is unknown. However, the fact that we've had a legitimate insider say, oh, yes, Geno Smith is on the list. Oh, yes, Daniel Jones is on the list is quite groundbreaking, quite frankly, that we haven't heard that before. We've heard some people speculate, say maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that would be kind of interesting. And just kind of talking this Geno thing out real quick, and then we'll get to, again, he had a lot of other nuggets in this as well from Albert Breer, that would Geno Smith want to come back to the Jets? Obviously, the Jets are exploring it from their side, but would Geno Smith want to come back? I mean, that would be the ultimate redemption story. A guy that spent 4 years here, unceremoniously exits because he gets punched in the face, and then to leave and kind of have the Game of Thrones walk of shame with the Giants, shame, Chargers, shame. And he's just this backup everywhere. And then all of a sudden he gets this opportunity. So would he come back? I don't know. Also, one spectacular career year in year number 9 is so unusual. He was the NFL's comeback player of the year, very obtuse for what happened to happen and go in that direction. But would he come back to the Jets and be good, or would he, again, also revert back into that pumpkin? That's another big thing. So you have to question the 1-year sample size potentially. But maybe he did just learn. I've always loved Geno Smith. He's a guy I've loved. I cherished when he was here. I was a big Geno guy. But either way, I find that pretty fascinating. So those are two big nuggets. And Geno Smith and Daniel Jones are on the table for the Jets. Let's go to Derek Carr. I know we got a lot of Derek Carr fans in our audience. A couple of big-time updates as it pertains to, oh, wait, before we get to that, I see a super chat is just coming in, which, by the way, is a healthy reminder before I even bring this up, that super chats are available to all of you guys on the YouTube channel. Feel free to dive in. We have some big, massive updates to share on a new show that'll be coming to the channel. Hope you guys can check that out as well, and so much more. So I'm really hoping you guys can check that out, and some big updates with some Jets related stuff. I'll have to save it at that. Let's show Ed Vargas on the screen. Ed, a big time fan of the show for a long time. He says, "Hey Paul, how is my old friend? I hope you and the family," and sorry about that, guys, it's my 1-year-old in the background. Hey, Paul, how is my old friend? I hope you and the family are well. Well, you can hear that one of them's well over there. You're truly the original OG. That means the world. Keep up the great work. Well, Ed, I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate your support. And anytime any of our fans dive into their pockets, it means the world. And two things here to point out. Not only is Ed giving us a wonderful YouTube super chat, which are always amazing, but you can see right here that special logo he has by his name means he's a member of the Boy Green Super Fan Club, which is a way you guys can contribute each and every month by joining our YouTube membership channel to show your support for the show. So feel free to do that as well. Ed, that means the world. Thank you. Yep, the family's great. It was great to have the family there for the martial arts event over the weekend. Again, we will see what happens. I need to wait to see from the knee specialist. Basically, the knee's unstable for me. So I've never had anything like this before. So we're hoping next week to have some answers from a knee specialist. It does not look like I blew anything out. I kind of feared that initially, like an ACL, MCL, LCL, PCL, something like that. But it looks like those are all intact. The only thing they can't see upon those initial testings are things like a torn meniscus and things of that nature. So fingers crossed, we will see. And I have to complete the rest of my 4th-degree black belt test. We're about halfway through when my knee gave out. So fingers crossed there, Ed, and that means the world. Thank you. The family's great, and we're going on a little bit of a trip here this week, and that's some exciting news, not just me personally, but for you guys as well. You'll understand what all of that means soon enough. I wish I could tease more, but there is a massive Jets update coming from there as well. So I'll keep you guys posted from that standpoint. All right, let's get to the Derek Carr update. Ed, thanks again for that. So here's the Derek Carr update. So we know that the Jets had a multi-day visit with Derek Carr, not this past weekend, the weekend prior, and things were all lovey-dovey. Things are nice between the Jets and Derek Carr. What we didn't know are some intricate details about that meeting. Albert Breer was able to provide a couple of those. First off, there's been some wild numbers in terms of Derek Carr's contract status. Who and what is happening here on the Derek Carr front from a contract perspective? Diana Russini came out and said $35 million a year is what he wants. Some Jet fans are like, oh, great. Doesn't sound like a lot. That's spectacular. We'll take $35 million a year, which again, we'll put him in that 9 category on the top 10 scale, right around that 9 category. I don't have it in front of me, but that's what I remember off the top of my head, somewhere in that ballpark with $35 million a year. Apparently, according to Albert Breer, he may be asking for $35 million, that of Derek Carr, but, quote, it stands to reason it might be hard for him to find that. So my guess, based on what the market told us, would be he'll be a starter somewhere, but at less money than he wants. So Derek Carr for $35 million, apparently that ain't happening. Apparently it's going to be even less than that. So let's just say the Jets ultimately do get Derek Carr. Apparently it's going to be less money than $35 million per year. Which could be a wowzer, which could be stunning. And, especially if it's lower than that you could get Derek Carr for that number. I like Derek Carr a lot. But again, I've been pretty clear about my priorities this offseason. Aaron Rodgers, numero uno, which apparently the Jets feel similar. Lamar Jackson, number 2, because, again, that would be tantalizing. Again, fully guaranteed contract would be pretty insane. You'd probably have to do that. And by the way, ain't my money. So, I mean, come on, people. It's not my money. It's Woody Johnson's money. So if he wants to pay Lamar Jackson, no problem with me. I'm not going to be like, I don't know, too much money. Ain't my money. I don't care. So Lamar Jackson, number 2, of course. So that one can also have some issues. But yeah, so which is interesting. So Albert Breer Nugget, Derek Carr, not quite going to get that $35 million that he wants. And let me get one more Derek Carr update. Then I'll get you another super chat I just saw come in. Oh yeah, here was the other Derek Carr thing. Crazy. So he's not going to get $35 million a year, according to Albert Breer. And we'll ultimately see what happens when the market plays out. The New York Jets, this is from Albert Breer, the New York Jets during their visit with Derek Carr said, hey, on top of the Super Bowl stuff, hey, just so you know, we're going to explore our options. Like on a date with Derek Carr, the Jets said from them to Derek Carr, hey, pal, we want to be serious, but we kind of want to investigate the market. And I'm not kidding. This is what really happened, according to Albert Breer, that the Jets told Derek Carr during this date that, hey, we really kind of want to explore the market. So we just wanted to be transparent about that. And specifically, Aaron Rodgers. The Jets, the gall. I can't imagine if I was on a date and I'm talking to a lovely young woman and I'm like, hey, Stacy, things are great here, pretty sharp. I can see a long-term future. Of course, I don't want to commit to that long-term future. I kind of want to test the waters out, get my feet wet, get back to you. On top of that, specifically, your sister Jessica is a prime piece of real estate. So I really want to explore that. And then, kind of, if that flops, I might find my way back to you. What? That is unbelievable. Apparently, that really happened in that meeting. So, big cojones by the New York Jets. I mean, it's cool to be honest and transparent, but normally we don't get that in today's society. Pretty like, I don't know what people are talking about with the Aaron Rodgers thing. Not sure. We definitely want you, but I guess they were honest about it. Crazy. Just unbelievable. But that's neither here nor there. All right, let's get to that other super chat. Then we'll get back into the Derek Carr thing. We'll answer some questions about it. Altoona Sandwich, which I just love the YouTube name. I've just emerged from my sensory deprivation chamber and have decided that Rodgers will be a Jet. There you go, Altoona. I've been saying it for months, quite frankly. And I remember on Buffalo Jet Fan, another great Jets content creators channel, I was talking with him and I was bringing up Aaron Rodgers, and fans were stoning me to death, saying, Aaron Rodgers, you unrealistic bastard. The contract doesn't work. You're an idiot. Do some research before you do a video, you dumb bearded troll. I'm like, whoa, people. I'm like, I don't know. I think I did some digging. I think there's something to this. And then other Jet fans have started to get on the bandwagon with me, which, by the way, smart move, baby, because this thing's going. And I want Aaron Rodgers. Again, is he weird? This sensory deprivation chamber joke with it, Altoona? Is it odd? Of course it's odd. But you do whatever you can. Remember Brett Favre? When he came over and he had the massage therapist thing, I guess that's true. But I just mean in a general sense, he kind of got special treatment. And you know what? Fine. That's just going to happen, obviously, with star quarterbacks when you have to pay the iron price. And you know what? If I have to be a little bit more flexible with his kind of weird schedule and weird request, well, fine. He's Brett freaking Favre. And in this case, he's Aaron friggin' Rodgers, baby. Of course we would. He would be the most decorated quarterback in Jets franchise history. I was about to say program like college, but like in franchise history, he would be elite. With the Jets, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, they're Super Bowl contenders. And I can't believe I was arguing about this with another Jet fan recently this week. They would be Super Bowl contenders. They'd be up there among the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl. The New York market, again, to be even in the conversation, obviously the last couple of years they haven't. They had 4 friggin' quarterbacks last year, but to be in the friggin' conversation, would people would throw money at that to have the chance for the Jets to end this drought, and you would think somewhat legitimate with Aaron Rodgers. 100%, guys. I'm telling you that there's going to be some stuff moving and grooving here. So I'm telling you, people, Aaron Rodgers on the Jets would mean that they are in the Super Bowl conversation. With Derek Carr, you're firmly in the playoff conversation, and maybe if things break right, you're in the Super Bowl conversation, but I'm not feeling as aggressive about it personally. I'm not feeling as aggressive about it. I think I feel confident with Rodgers. And again, hopefully we get some sort of answers. He has been removed from the hut. He is hanging out, and news should drop. According to Peter Schrager, he imagines that news is going to drop this week, but people have been saying all kinds of things for weeks, so we don't really know. But with the NFL Combine, which, by the way, personally, is one of my favorite events, I was supposed to be there this year for the first time. It would have been amazing. Unfortunately, I will not be able to be live at the Combine. Hopefully next year. We'll check that one off the bucket list. The Underwear Olympics. I freaking love the Combine, which would be spectacular. There's so much chatter and talk going on. It would be great. So, but we should be getting some updates from that perspective on all of that. But Altoona Sandwich, appreciate that. So, Ken Gaisher just joining us. I'll kind of give you the quick spiel on a couple of the updates that have come in from Albert Breer. Number one, this is we knew this, that Aaron Rodgers was option number one and still is option number one for the New York Jets. However, for the Jets, they don't view this offseason as, quote, Aaron Rodgers or bust. That they still believe they're fully evaluating all the potential options, and we talked about some of them. The Jets have discussed, according to Albert Breer, Daniel Jones, luring him from the Giants to the Jets. Geno Smith, considering that potential reunion actually happening, which would be wild to see that actually come to fruition. Derek Carr will not be getting $35 million per year, according to Breer. The Jets straight up told friggin' Derek Carr, hey, we're going to kind of explore the waters, and specifically Aaron Rodgers. They told that to Derek Carr's face, apparently, among these updates, which all of a sudden, again, is somewhat stunning. It is somewhat stunning. But I will say this. So this is another kind of a side tangent on all of this, because it's definitely been a conversation on my radio show that I do on a day-to-day basis, people say, why would the Giants pay Daniel Jones? Or why would the Seattle Seahawks pay Geno Smith? And all these other questions. I would just put it this way. You either have a quarterback or you do not. Like the Bengals have Burrow. The Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. The Chargers have Justin Herbert. The Giants have Daniel Jones. They don't have Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert. So they're either going to pay their guy that they believe is good or they're not. Like, so when you have a guy, while you wish they were Patrick Mahomes, he's your version of Patrick Mahomes. He's the best you have, or your version of any quarterback. He's your franchise quarterback. So you're like, well, we don't want to pay Daniel Jones 40-something million a year, but what's option number two? The quarterback options normally stink in free agency. Derek Carr is the guy who's available. Like, what are our other options? So they are forced with no choice to say, well, might as well pay him. It's better the enemy you know than the enemy you don't. Okay, Daniel Jones, you're the guy. So again, it's getting a little froggy, obviously, but no, you got to pay your own guys, whoever that is, and that puts them in kind of a tough position. The other thing that was fascinating in all of this one came from ESPN Bill Barnwell. We'll throw this one out there. And we wrote a column about it. That's not listed in the YouTube description, but if you go down and click on my author profile, you will find the Orlando Brown trade idea. Bill Barnwell said a potential trade between the New York Jets and Kansas City Chiefs could be spicy, with the Jets trading for Orlando Brown, the talented offensive tackle who's 26 years old. I believe he turns 27 before the start of next season. He's been playing elite. Absolutely. I think he started off the beginning of the season a little bit sloppy, but he's a guy incredibly talented. He would solve left tackle. Maybe Mekhi Becton is the solver of left tackle, but still, Orlando Brown could be your guy, and it would involve the number 13 overall pick going to the Chiefs, and then Orlando Brown and a bunch of picks apparently come to the Jets. That's the idea from Bill Barnwell, which I find fascinating. Potentially that could be a splash. Zach Rosenblatt mentioned that as a potential splash a few weeks ago, so that could be something potentially to explore as well. So still, we don't know who QB1 is for the Jets, but apparently they are exploring every single option. They're turning over every rock. Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, good Lord have mercy. And I even had a piece about Jacoby Brissett. Now, I want to make this clear to all the people that were in my mentions and everywhere else that just because I wrote a column about Jacoby Brissett does not mean I'm waving the white flag and giving up my Aaron Rodgers pursuits. Quite the opposite, quite frankly. I'm just covering the bases, telling you the options. You got to hope for the best, expect the worst. That's how I live my life. I hope the best possible things happen, quite frankly. But at the end of the day, we have to be prepared for the worst possible case scenario and expect the worst. And I don't think Jacoby Brissett is the worst, quite frankly. I think actually looking at some of the contract projection numbers that he'd make about $5 million this year. If he's only making $5 million, you could build the rest of the team. Again, I prefer Aaron Rodgers or something like that. But if you end up with Jacoby Brissett would have gotten the Jets in the gosh darn playoffs last year. I mean, let's be blunt here. But that's neither here or nor there on that. All right, I'm going to scroll all the way up and try to catch up on any questions we may have missed. No matter where you're watching, guys, there are two ways you can contribute to the show. First off, the free way. Like the video, hit subscribe down below. We're on a epic chase to 4,000 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer every day. So if you could feel free, please show your support. It's the free way. Everyone who's watching can contribute. Again, youtube.com/BoyGreed25. Like the video, hit subscribe down below. We have live streams, fantastic guests, of course, and we do all kinds of other video content as well, which is a lot of fun. So I hope you guys could be a part of the family if you're not. And if you'd like, if you have a little change in your tin cup, feel free to throw it at me on YouTube Super Chat feature to show your support for the channel. All right, let me get through a lot of questions here. Let me go back up. We'll also dive back into some of the updates in case you guys missed it. Let's go to Micro Fox. They can't be serious about Geno. Come on, just sign Derek Carr already. Again, they are really waiting for this Aaron Rodgers thing before they dive even deeper on all of this. So he continues to let it go. Matt Budzinski here. Let's go, Paul. Tom Brady had a leg injury once. You'll be fine. That's true. Yes, he did. And I'm going to be honest. I did celebrate that. I was like, he was out for you don't want injuries, but I was like, thank gosh, Tom Brady's been wiped off the deck. That's for sure. Bill does not want Aaron Rodgers. I love how the level of variance among Jet fans on who they want. Like I'm seeing some Geno chants in here, Sean, Matt, FM, and Matt's cool with them on the vet minimum making their triumphant comeback, which is funny. Let's go. Jay White, huge no on Jones. Again, the passing limitations kind of scare me a little bit because, I think that is a little bit of a magic wand. And I think, the old glass slipper won't fit on fat cankle Cinderella if you bring Daniel Jones in here. I'm not sure if maybe Nathaniel Hackett can get it out of him. I'm not sure, though. FM, trade Sauce for Geno and Woolen. No thanks. No, thank you. Sauce will have a bust in Canton one day, I hope. Sergeant CVO, Aaron good, Carr good, Geno okay. Anyone else on that list, don't do it. Yeah, I think you should have a line in the sand, so to speak, of like what is the level, because probably a lot of names on the list, bluntly, are upgrades over what the Jets just had at quarterback. I would imagine that's pretty fair to say. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, fantastic. Derek Carr, fantastic. Geno, okay. I again, would he come here and all that money and man, the fear of it like blowing up in the Jets' face and everyone throwing it in their face, that'd be kind of scary. It seems hard to believe though that he won't get tagged. I'm just speaking my opinion. Who knows? But I feel like he and Daniel Jones will get tagged because, like, again, for those guys, what are their other options? They don't have any. Tyrod Taylor, Drew Lock, come on. But hey, crazier things have happened, I suppose. FM, Geno Smith is better than Rodgers and knows how to play in New York. Zoinks. That's a take. Not one I share, but that's a take. Geno, a little bit younger. What, he's a 32, something like that. So, interesting. Matt, why drive a car when we got a jet? Wink. Very nice. Very nice there. Not bad. All right, let's keep going here. John Fitzpatrick, again, is sharing my same concern. As soon as he leaves Brian Daboll, as in that he would turn back to crap. One good year does not make a quarterback. Well, the Jets have to base it off of that 1 year, unfortunately. Edgar, are you going for real Geno over Roger and Carr? Absolutely not. I'm not on my personal list, but apparently Geno is somewhere on that list. Where he ranks on the list, beats me. I've not seen the list. Like Chris Jericho, the list. I have not seen it. The Jets have not included me on that elite group that they've shown the list. Hopefully I make that one day. Finger like Jets fan. Do we really trust Geno and Jones for $30 million a year? And I would imagine they probably get a fair bit more. Now, how much more? I don't know. But what was it? Tom Pelissero said Daniel Jones' contract will start with a 4. I've not heard the latest on Geno, but his contract projection is somewhere in the $38 million range, according to Spot Track market projections. So take that for what you will. Do we really trust them? I mean, no. I want a proven track record, not just like Geno Smith career year in year 9, not just Daniel Jones with a QB whisperer like Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I've seen it. Derek Carr. Yeah, I've seen it for some period of time. It's not 1 year. That's why I feel a little bit better about those guys. Love friggin' Green Bean, baby. Love Green Bean. He's the go. We got to get him on the show, but I know there is a way we are getting him on the show. More details to come on that. Finger like Jet fan. One solid season for each, and then playoffs exposed them bad. Yeah, Seattle had not played San Francisco well the entire time this season, so I kind of had limited expectations as we were, quite frankly, heading into that, to be honest. And then Daniel Jones. Who did they play? Oh, the Eagles. Oh, God, that was ugly. So I don't know whose fault is that. The offensive line did not look great in that game either, but or Saquon Barkley for that matter. Eagles defense was pretty good, but we can make excuses for whoever we want. Let's see. Geno's unbelievable. Oh, there you go. Love it, FM. Hit the like button. Paul works hard for our entertainment. Damn right, baby. I am your jester. I do a little dance, a little shimmy for your entertainment. That's just what. Dave Nash, no way in hell on Geno. I love just the conviction from fans. That's what I want. I don't know. I'm not really sure on Geno. People either no, the horrible decision, terrible, and then others like yes, Geno, baby, Geno. Like we're just getting both. It's great. Not Geno. I'd take Sam Darnold over him. Oh my! Wow. I would no. I'd take Geno over Sam Darnold. but I kind of like the point. That's a good deep cut. Gino was benched for Michael Vick in 2014. Really worth a huge investment. I just love, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I love the randos that have played for the Jets in history. Michael Vick, Jason Taylor, Ronnie Lott. I mean, they're all Plaxico Burress, Antonio Holmes, and some of them obviously had richer levels of success. Like Tone Time, we remember him a little bit more fondly than, let's say, I don't know, Ronnie Lott. But I'm just saying the names like LaDainian Tomlinson. I love LT. I've got LT's jersey in my closet. One of my favorite Jet jerseys I have, and I know he had a very short tenure with the Jets. It doesn't matter. I've always loved LT. So when he came to the Jets, I was like, oh, of course, I got to get that one. So, but we've just had all these legends play for us, which is just kind of crazy. It's kind of kooky, but I love it. I love it. Let's see. John Fitzpatrick. Let's go to that one. What would Seattle do if they lose Gino? What do the Giants do without Jones? Now, I have to imagine. I don't know this. I haven't spoken to the Giants or the Jets. I just got to comment on the profile avatar real quick. I'm getting Cobra Kai vibes here. I've not seen the Netflix series. Shame on me. I'm a huge Karate Kid fan, but I'm getting Cobra Kai vibes from your profile picture. Not sure if that's intentional, John Fitzpatrick, but there you go. Back to your question. What would Seattle do if they lost Gino? Drew Lock actually is a pending free agent too, so they really have no plan. They do have a couple of first round picks thanks to the the Russell Wilson trade. So would they go with like Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, maybe? I don't know. I think Anthony needs time, and maybe Will does too. I guess we'll see. But those will be optimal decisions on a team by team basis. But they have the kind of draft capital. Giants don't have that luxury, so you would have to kind of go, see you later, Daniel Jones. Okay, let's go for. Although Carr wants to sign before free agency, it sounds like, so the Giants wouldn't really have that choice unless they're able to like trade Daniel Jones. They wouldn't have the time to make that call. So maybe like a Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe. I'm trying to think of somebody else on the quarterback free agent market. But yeah, like a Jimmy Garoppolo. And like, how do the Giants feel about that? I don't know. But that's probably what you do if you're the Giants. You either tag and trade Daniel Jones somewhere and then say, okay, we're going to go get a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo. That would probably be the plan. The Seattle plan, I would have to imagine in that particular case, would be draft. Matt Snell. And is this the Matt Snell? I mean, if it is, Matt Snell, thanks for joining us, baby. We have a Super Bowl royalty here. Emerson Boozer, Matt Snell, Joe Namath, Don Maynard, those are Super Bowl champions. I know, and by the way, quick diatribe, quick detour. I know the Jets will win the Super Bowl one day, and it's going to be worth it. All these years of pain, heartache, as my father-in-law says, heartache, Paul, heartache from Boston. He always tells me that. He's always going through heartache. Shout out to him. That I have to be honest, that after all the pain and heartbreak, we will eventually win the Super Bowl, and it's all going to make it. It's all going to make it. But back to you, Matt Snell. Just let Hackett develop Wilson the way LaFleur didn't. Yeah, I know there's been some speculation, some conversation on maybe Joe Douglas will move on from Zach Wilson. I just don't see it. Now, the one thing I will openly say, and this is something I think that came from Boomer Esiason originally, is that if you get Aaron Rodgers, like that quarterback room makes sense to me. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is 1,000 years old, and I still think he's got some gas left in the tank, but he's like an old man, and you have Zach Wilson, and okay, Zach Wilson can learn from the old man. That makes sense. Like, okay, like Zach Wilson's like, cool, I have Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers is like, I'm Aaron Rodgers, so it doesn't matter. But if they bring in Derek Carr, and let's say they sign, I don't know, 3, 4, 5-year deal, let's say, for Pete's sake, for this 30-something-year-old on the open market, Zach Wilson's got to go, the heck? What am I, chap live over here? Which a lot of Jeff fans would say, yes, you are. Yes, exactly what you are. But, that's a different rub, because if you bring in Aaron Rodgers, like, oh, obviously he's got maybe 2 years left, maybe 3 years left. Like Derek Carr, I mean, Tom Brady's kind of warped all of our perceptions on career quarterback trajectory, career length, right? Because he's played till 45. Derek Carr's 31, turns 32 this offseason. Like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. I don't know. But it's probably something like that, right? Zach Wilson's like 1, 2, 3. He's probably like, I've got at least 2 years left on my deal, and they're probably not accepting the 5th-year option. So I got 2 years left. This guy's 31. When the hell am I playing? Well, the problem is you're not. So that could create a rub. And that's what Boomer Esiason brought up. That could be a potential roadblock, potentially, to the Jets landing a quarterback like Derek Carr is like, I don't want to come there. That's weird, man. The hell? That's going to be awkward as hell. So that could be a little weird. Could be weird. John says Carr is the move to make. I like Carr a lot. So if we end up with Carr, I will be on here celebrating. Probably not as vehemently as if it was Aaron Rodgers, but I'll be celebrating. That's a massive upgrade for the New York Jets. I will be, John. Guys, keep the comments rolling. We'll try to go through as many of these as possible. Hopefully all of them. Super chat, your t-shirt comment gets answered, but I try to get through all of them, like I said. Let's see. Paul, where is A-Rod? Which one? I apparently though, Packers people do not call him A-Rod. That's just a thing us outsiders do. From what I've been told by some Packers people, A-Rod is not a acceptable shortening of his name. But every once in a while, I do it for variance. Really, if I'm doing a tweet and I'm mentioning Aaron Rodgers 1,000 times, I don't like saying Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers. So I'll go Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod, Raj, AR. Like I try to do some combination of that, but apparently not cool. Brandon, she wants to be on the show, Boy Green. Love it. Yeah, apparently she's like, sees me on. She's going, I'm on the show. My 1-year-old, my beautiful 1-year-old who turned 1 last month, and she is growing like a weed. It's amazing. Let's keep it going. Matt Budzinski. He's just put a gun to my head. Oh, boy. Well, I have nowhere to go on crutches, but let's keep going with this. I like it. Probably have a gun to your head, unfortunately. And they need you to predict the rest of Zach Wilson's career. How do you answer? What a fascinating question. Gun to my head, and I don't imagine a person with a gun to my head is letting me, think about this for a long while. I still think he has it, man, and I get it. The start to the career with the comparisons to Marcus Russell. The Eagles wanted him. The 49ers wanted him. And busts happen in all shapes and sizes. I think he's on the – if it's Aaron Rodgers, like coming to the Jets, I could see Aaron Rodgers mentoring him, and then maybe the Jets see something and they accept the fifth-year option. It seems hard to believe that that's still a year away, 1 more year before they have to make that decision, which is crazy how fast the clocks go. But I would say if Aaron Rodgers comes here – Zach Wilson learns from him, and in a year or two, he hands him off the ropes, and then he's competing with some other guy they bring in, and that's QB1 battle. If it's Derek Carr, I could see a rub where Derek Carr is like kind of miffed by having Zach Wilson to kind of look at, bother with, everything, because that could create potential drama. And then maybe at that point he's traded and find some level of success down the line. I don't think it's quite Geno Smith 7 years or whatever, however long he had to wait. But I would imagine he gets traded to a team like Patrick Mahomes. Their backup quarterback, Chad Henne, just retired. Could he go to like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and then he's a obvious backup? There's no question about it. And he just learns from like Mahomes and Reid and then eventually burst out with his talent. I could see something like that. And that's where I would lean at this point. Sergeant CVO, which knee was it? It is the left knee that we went with. I was doing, and I'll just describe it real quick. For those who don't know, again, reminder for people who know what I'm talking about. Again, here's the crutches. Boom, crutches. I am crutching around, okay? That I was doing my 4th degree Taekwondo black belt test over the weekend. And I was doing a thing, as we call in Korean, a defrigi, which is called a back spin kick. It's when your feet are planted and you contort violently the top half of your body, your bottom leg comes whipping around and hooks someone in the face, which is one of my favorite kicks. And I was doing as part of a demonstration. You tell the audience and the crowd and the board what move you're about to do. If someone attacks you on the street, that's called a husinsu. It's a grab. It's when someone just like attacks you. How the heck do you get out of it? And I had this one move. If someone grabbed me on my shoulder, I slap a palm heel strike to the back of their elbow. I roundhouse kick the back of their leg, and then I defrigi or back spin kick the back of their head. The top half of my body was spinning wildly when I did it in full speed. The bottom half of my body did not. The knee stayed in one place. Boop. My cousin Ray, boop. And then I collapsed like a used lawn chair. Thought it was kind of weird, so I just went to go get it down. And then I tried to get back up. I said, oh, that's where, and then I'm back down again. I'm like, boy. And so it looks like it's a sprain, which, like, a sprain doesn't sound that bad, but it's an unstable knee right now. So we'll kind of see what happens. It's funny Matt says this because he said the gun to my head. We actually used to in Taekwondo. We haven't done it in quite some time since COVID, but we used to have weapon training as well. If someone attacks you with a weapon or has a gun to you in the back of your head, we have a couple of cool grabs and attacks to get out of it. I have this inside crescent kick move that would kick a gun out of somebody's hand, or you could work it with your arm, wrap around forearm strike to the face, and then hip toss. So there's a few ways that you could get the gun out of the hand, but I just went along with the bit. But yes, I guess I could have done that with the gun as well. Booyah. You never knew. Some people don't know about my Taekwondo background, so every once in a while when I share videos, they're like, what the hell? Where? This is random from a Jets YouTuber, but hey, here we are. Let's go to Matt Graff here. How else can we improve the team outside of the quarterback position? Well, I think there's a lot of ways. Let's go to this. Here's a big one. There's a point of contention. Let's go to the backfield. So you have Breece Hall. He gets injured in October, week 7. The Jets have to determine this honestly. Now, they're saying all the right things publicly, like, oh, man, he's ahead of schedule and he's this and that. And if he is, spectacular. But Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic has been he's like, man, like, they could say this, but he feels and I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but just reading his columns and hearing him on my show and other shows, he seems very down that Breece Hall is going to be Breece Hall like that. So he suggests that running back's a bigger need than people think. So you got Michael Carter, potential of Ty Johnson coming back, Zonovan Knight. Like, you've got some guys, but is there enough there? Do you need another running back? Depending on how the Jets feel about Breece Hall, that's an important piece of the puzzle, for sure. Offensive line is an obvious one. Again, what are we doing? Are we trading for Orlando Brown? Is Mekhi Becton left tackle one? I'd love to see what Mekhi brings to the table, but you can't just say, of course, pencil him in, Mekhi, left tackle one. He's played 40 snaps basically the last 2 years. It's hard to rely on that. He's looking great. The photos are looking great. I'm excited. I'm jazzed. I'm revved up, but you can't rely on that. So he's going to be, a bonus, basically. You're going to address the team as if he's not on the team. And then if we're in training camp and he's healthy as an ox, booyah, let's go, baby, and let's figure it out. So offensive line is a place for sure. I'd probably, because again, when you bring in a quarterback, the Jets haven't had to pay a quarterback in forever. And when I say pay a quarterback, I mean pay like $30 million, let's say, for Carr, or who else? Aaron Rodgers for like whatever. I know technically his cap is 15, but you get the point that like it's 60 million cash. So you have to figure that out. So if the Jets are going to pay a quarterback, they have to find other areas of the team that they have to sacrifice. Is that Corey Davis? Is that Carl Lawson? Is that Connor McGovern? Is that who? And then you have to replace. So like Connor McGovern, let's say he makes about $10 million a year, right, on his next deal. Did the Jets go, so we could pay Connor McGovern $10 million a year on a multi-year deal, or we could draft the center on day 2 of the draft and they make like $2 million? Okay, we can save some money there. Okay, do we move on from Carl Lawson, save $15 million, and give more reps to Jermaine Johnson? Boom, $15 million there. So the Jets have to make these key, big, important decisions. Not me on random YouTube, but these guys have to make these decisions on where the money saving is coming from. That's key, dramatically key. To figure out, because they're going to have to pinch their penny somewhere, so to speak, Matt. But great question. But a quick version. If you move on from Corey Davis, who's wide receiver 3? I like the thought of Jakobi Meyers. We wrote about that this week, but the money seems like it's going to be too crazy. Why would I move on from Corey Davis at like $11.5 million for Jakobi Meyers at a multi-year deal at like $20 million? Ugh, I don't love that. Do not like, especially as a wide receiver 3. Tight end, I think, is pretty good. I think Conklin and Uzomah are going to be a lot better with a better quarterback. And Jeremy Ruckert, I'm excited to see his sprinkle. So while Daniel Jeremiah did mention the tight end position, how deep it is in this draft, what are you doing? If you draft a tight end, where the hell are they? Are you keeping 4 tight ends like that? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd use my assets elsewhere. Safety, they're going to need help with. I love corner. Linebacker, you have 2 pending free agents, Quincy Williams, Quan Alexander. Interior defensive line, outside of Quinnen, you're lacking a lot of depth there. So those are some quick areas that they can improve the team. Again, offensive line, interior defensive line, safety, that's a big one as well, and linebacker as well. Tuning in from New Zealand. Love it, baby. So I have no idea what the time is over there, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. Random kind of show put together here. Again, I'm kind of, on crutches basically. So I'm kind of just kind of limping around. Although I'm going on a mini trip. It starts tomorrow. Then I'm gone through Thursday. I believe I'm bringing all the gear with me. So we may do some random. My background will be a lot different. I'll be in a hotel. But we will be doing some content, I do believe, from the random location I am going. So we will see. Let's see. Cars about. It's funny we get these back to back. So, Matt Snell, Carr an above average quarterback. That's it. No more, no less. We have Victor that's saying Carr is the best quarterback option to build around. And I've heard others, and nobody wants Carr. See, this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. And I mean this in all sincerity, that we have some people saying, yeah, Derek Carr sucks. And then we have this guy saying Carr is clearly the best option. Matt Snell says Carr is above average. I'm saying Carr sucks. What, Carr this, Carr that. So 100%. I love the variety in the diet that we get. And we have Dark Soldier in here. Crew. Welcome to the show, baby. Welcome to the show. Love it, baby. Let's see. Let's keep going. King Kong Bundy, that'd be nice. I am a big wrestling guy, so that'd be cool. Let's see. Let's go to this match. So before you sign Carter, bring back White for a lot less, same class of quarterback average. I would say the major difference is durability. Derek Carr's been incredibly durable. Mike White has been as durable as a broken bag of glass. So that would be the one key difference, at least one. And then obviously Derek Carr's been doing it for a lot longer, but durability would be number one in that comparison. I would go to. Matt, and that's 100% true. If Mike White had stayed healthy, we would be discussing we're signing him for like $15 million a year. Factual. That's true. Like a 2 or 3 year deal for like 30, 45 million. That's correct. And this would have been a less sexy offseason, I suppose. Although maybe the Jets still would have dabbled and looked around. But with how the season ended, they can't. And to be honest, I don't think he now. The more I've heard from insiders, I don't think that he returns as QB2. It sounds like he's probably going to the Rams. Because again, Matt Stafford's like all broken now, and I feel bad because I feel old because Matt Stafford was our 2009 draft that we got Sanchez from. So it's sad to admit that, but yeah, I think he goes there and says, "Oh, Matt Stafford injured, I get right into the lineup with Sean McVay, sign me up." So and reunite with Mike LaFleur, who I think he likes a lot. Finger Lake Jets fans. Jets recruit him, and Carr was exploring his options as well. Yes, that's an important note, Finger Lake Jets fan. We mentioned earlier one of the insider nuggets we got from Albert Breer was that the Jets were very open to Derek Carr, that they're going to explore the market and specifically Aaron Rodgers. And I'm sure Derek Carr told them, cool, because so am I. So it does go both ways, but I just think the gall of the Jets to straight up on a date go, hey, by the way, we're looking around. And specifically at your sister. Like, it's just kind of weird to be that upfront about it. I love the honesty, transparency. I'd love to be a fly in that room to see what Derek Carr's face and maybe his agent's face was. I don't think his agent was there, but he may have been. But like Derek Carr being there and hearing that had to have been a little awkward. Like, oh, it's cool, I guess. Like, weird, but hey, different strokes. Let's go to Riffy Rick. What a YouTube name. Haven't been following the Jets. Are they going to get rid of Zach Wilson? I think it depends on who the quarterback is, but probably not. I mean, it would be a weird thing to explain. The Jets went out of their way to say through hell or high water is how they're going to back Zach. So to trade him after that, you'd be like, what was the through hell or high water? Well, until we got a better offer. Like, okay. So that one's kind of weird. Let's see. Stacy's Mom's Got It Going On. Love that song. Yes. That is was that Fountains Fountain who oh my god. Fountains of Wayne. That's it. My brain had to put all that together. What's up everybody? NY Jets super fan joining us. Welcome. Let's see. Rodgers is too Hollywood. Again, I don't care about their extracurricular activities. No one wants Carl Rodgers. Newsflash. Interesting. Let's go back to London Jets fan. The Jets looking at Daniel Jones. They are looking at Daniel Jones. Apparently, he's on their list, according to Albert Breer. If his pay demands with the Giants are too high, I would imagine that would be the precipice, or that would be, the rationale of that potentially happening. But also just kind of evaluating your options because we can't assume anything. Will the Giants put the tag? Will Seattle put the tag? Obviously, the Ravens are going to put the tag. Which tag? So you have to explore their options and be prepared for every scenario. Now, again, if they put on the tag, it's whatever, but, it just kind of depends. Let's keep going. I wouldn't mind FM. I wouldn't mind bringing back Geno Darnold and having a nice QB reunion with Zach. That would be the most awkward thing of all time. Although, weird QB reunion because Darnold was gone before Zach Wilson officially came in, and obviously Geno and Sam didn't run over. But yeah, that would be kind of crazy. Finger Lake Jets fan. Jets said if he wins the Super Bowl, he could be a Hall of Famer. His numbers are comparable to Eli. Not quite yet, but the trajectory is. And by the way, real quick, we talked about this in a separate video. You guys could go check it out. But real quick, I know it got a lot of run like, ha ha ha, Jets, you dumb. But like, think about it. If Derek Carr, with his comparable numbers, durable as hell, so he's going to put up more numbers. He's only 31. I don't know how long he's going to play, but I would imagine another 5-6 years. So pad those stats, and then you win a Super Bowl. You bring the Jets their first Super Bowl in 54, 55 years. Yeah, I'm sure he would be. First ballot Hall of Famer. Now, that may be a little, hyperbolic, but the overall point, though, of like him being a Hall of Famer, not too off base. Like Eli Manning, to me, is a first ballot, unquestioned Hall of Famer. His numbers are all there. He's top 10 every major category. He beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice and clutch as hell. I mean, we can make fun of Eli Manning for the close your eyes, throw the ball randomly and some of the dumb picks. But I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, unquestioned first ballot. And to be honest, I think there is a strong case to be made that Derek Carr would eventually be in the Hall of Fame if he did that, I would say. So I know that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but it's kind of true. It's kind of true. Let's see. Rodgers won Super Bowl away. Okay, interesting. Yeah, let's see. A lot of you guys are arguing in here. I love it. Passionate. Let's see. Packers don't want Rodgers, offer them a 6th-round pick. Now, I don't think it'll be a 6th-round pick, but it's interesting. We're all debating how much is Aaron Rodgers worth. Adam Schefter came out and said, it's got to at least be the number 13th overall pick. Bill Barnwell said something similar earlier today. I've heard from others, like, it won't be as expensive as you think. Conditional picks, like a 2nd this year and like a conditional 3rd next year, depending on what happens. It's this and this and this. I hope that's the case because I want Aaron Rodgers and I want him for as cheaply as possible. So yes, but I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, I would prefer, if it's going to be a first, be next year's first. So this year's first could help out this year's Jets, whether that's an offensive tackle, trade back, whatever. I'd be all for that. Personally. Yeah, I'm seeing like all these people kind of saying that on the Aaron Rodgers potential price package. I'm not sure personally, but it's stupid. I'd rather take Tannehill or Jimmy over Carr if cheaper. Only way I would take Carr is if we can't get Aaron Rodgers. He's asking for a low price. Yeah, here's the thing. I kind of went on a mini rant the other day about Tannehill. I think he'd be an upgrade over what the Jets have, and to be honest, who wouldn't be? But Tannehill's so mid, man. So mid. Like, he doesn't really excite me. Derek Carr excites me, And I know Tannehill has more playoff wins. Derek Carr's only gone once and lost, but, QB win stats and all that is. But, Tannehill just doesn't really titillate the juices. Like, I still see some more pop from Derek Carr. And Tannehill's old. He's like 35. I don't know, man. Like, if we get him, he's an upgrade. Like, okay. But I'm not, like, so razzed about it. Like, Super Bowl, baby. I'm probably not saying that with Ryan Tannehill, I'm afraid. Let's go to this one. This one's crazy. What Wild Thing Music. Oh, here we go. What would Anthony Richardson look like if he played for Bama or Ohio State? Phew, I don't even know. I love the fact so it's Combine Week, so shout out. Anthony Richardson's going to be doing everything. I'm going to have my feet kicked back. I am excited to see Anthony Richardson throw it around. And again, if you're the Jets and you don't want a young quarterback, you want as many quarterbacks going in front of you as possible to kick other guys down the board. So I am excited for Anthony Richardson. He is dynamic. I saw a couple of games live this year where he's doing these crazy things. You're like, man, this guy's so talented. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Probably still a top 10 pick, I imagine. We'll see. Let's see. Garoppolo's injury prone. Yeah, which, again, is my concern with him for sure. Let's see. Becton down to 350. Awesome. Again, I saw the pictures. I heard some people talking about weight stuff. That'd be great. That'd be great to see him there. I hopefully we can maintain that. That'd be great. Finger Lake Jets fan here. Tannehill and Jimmy G can't finish a season, so you pay them $25 million, then pay Mike White another 5 to 7. Yeah, he's going to get somewhere in that ballpark. I believe the numbers were like 6 to 8, something like that. Was the Rich Cimini numbers he believed that he's going to get? But that's expensive investment. Like, you might as well, in that case, get Derek Carr and Rodgers. Again, you have to give a draft assets for Rodgers, obviously, but like, why do that much? I don't know. Because, like, Jimmy G can't finish the season, Mike White can't either. Then who's QB3? Is it Zach Wilson? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Could be a problem. Could be a problem. Bengus Garcia, Boy Green, new subscriber here. Worst case scenario, Strevler, baby. Oh, worst case scenario. Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, I mean Strevler. I like Strevler, so it'd be at least fun, in a weird way, like that Thursday night football game. Like absolute worst case is like running it back with Zach Wilson, Mike White, Chris Strevler. Again, after all the excitement of the offseason and the names that the Jets were kicking the tires on, it would be wild for them to just go, well, we're running it back. So that'd probably be it. Some combination of that. Because, again, Jimmy Garoppolo, I like him, but he's injury prone. Carr, Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, like all these names would be upgrades, but some of them I'm just less excited about than others, which is kind of natural for that. All right, we only have a few more minutes here, so I'm going to try to go rapid fire. Lauren, I say trade up to get a left tackle. Lauren, that's not off the table. If the Jets have one of their top three that they have higher than the others and they're within range, the Jets could trade up. Not off the table. Zach Rosenblatt said that as well. Scott, why do you think Rodgers will be a Jet? The Nathaniel Hackett thing, I think the Jets are super motivated. Woody Johnson loves a splash, and there's no bigger splash than Aaron Rodgers. So they need a quarterback. Woody Johnson wants it. There's a lot of connective tissue. Robert Saleh, Matt LaFleur, Nathaniel Hackett. There's all that stuff. I just feel so like I put it at 80%. I believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet. And I know a lot of people are not willing to go that far. I just have a feeling. I gut feeling. Call it what you want. I just have a feeling it will be Aaron Rodgers. Okay, we got another super chat, so we will skip to that again. If you guys have any, another one. I'm going to go through all these super chats quick. Those will be, I guess, our final ones here. What do you think about Cooper Rush? My dad's a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. Lawrence, sorry I didn't see this earlier. My dad's a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, so I've seen basically every Cowboys game that's not at the same time as the Jets in my life. I think Cooper Rush is a solid guy, but not – and I've heard a few people have been on the Cooper Rush train this offseason, but not where I would dabble, quite frankly. If I'm going to go in that realm, it's Jacoby Brissett for me. But I do like the Dallas Cowboys from my dad and watching all those games, but I'm not willing to go that far for Cooper. He's a solid guy. He stepped in. I love the miracle game he had against the Vikings where he stepped up really well. The Cowboys have a lot of talent too, so that obviously has to be factored in as well. But yeah, so he's a solid guy. Not like maybe he's QB2, QB3. I don't think there's any circumstance where the Jets go, oh yeah, we are starting off the show with Cooper Rush. I just don't see that. Back to Altoona Sandwich. As a former NFL scout, I wonder where we've seen that before. I'd like to see the Jets trade for Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely, as would I. Now, the package, I will say this. I don't think it'll be this high anymore, but I'd be willing to give up 2 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers. And people are like, what are you talking about, man? And again, I love the draft, so this is kind of a wild take for me because I don't love giving up draft capital. But to be honest, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the game. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time. Bar none. Talent, one of the best. He's one of the best quarterbacks of this generation. 1 year of Aaron Rodgers is one amazing year, a chase to go do something special. And I hope you get more than that, obviously. I hope you get 2 years. So I'd be over the moon to get Aaron Rodgers. I'd love to see it happen. I'd be willing to give up, at worst, if they pin me up against a wall and there's a bidding war and saying, hey, it's either this or you're not getting him. I'd be like, all right, let's do it. Boom, 2 first-round picks. But maybe it's a first and a package. Maybe it's multiple conditionals. I don't know. But I want Aaron Rodgers. I've made that perfectly clear. I don't care how weird he is. Does not matter to me in any realm or light. But I want Aaron Rodgers badly. I want him on the Jets. And I'm willing to do really whatever it takes. I'm doing within reason, whatever it takes. Am I within reason? Again, I said my ceiling is probably 2 first-round picks. And I'm sure the Packers would do that. But that's where I'm willing to go. I'm willing to go. And I see the people that say only 1 Super Bowl, like for Aaron Rodgers. Like, people, we have 0 Super Bowls. So what the hell are you talking about, You know what I mean? So, like, the people that say, oh, only 1 Super Bowl, like, we haven't been to the playoffs in 12 years. The last time we were in the playoffs, the Packers won the Super Bowl. So, like, let's have some perspective here, people. 1 Super Bowl. Better than us. I mean, could he have won more with the talent? Maybe. But we said that about those great Chargers teams with Antonio Gates, Vincent Jackson, Darren Sproles, LaDainian Thompson, Phillip Rivers. What about that dude? He didn't win a friggin' Super. Dan Marino? Like, come on. There's other guys a little higher on that list. which is interesting. And I will say that Sargent throwing that out about Joe Douglas does not lose trades. That's the other thing that makes you think that maybe he gets a better deal potentially for Rodgers than a lot of us think. And let's go one more. Of course, explosive diarrhea with this. So Carson Wentz got cut today. And no, I don't need a due diligence. I need nothing. Carson Wentz, and no, not happening. Please no. For the love of everything that's holy, God, no. Please, no. The office gift, no. God, no. Please, no. Carson Wentz, please, for the love of everything that's holy, no thank you very much. Guys, this was a fun 1 hour live stream with you guys. It's been a little while since we've done this. We'll have a few other videos, hopefully, on the show channel this week. We will have an announcement coming here pretty soon on a brand new friggin' podcast coming. I hope you guys could enjoy it. Some really cool stuff that'll be coming down the pike, and some major news between, me and some Jet stuff coming this week as well beyond the show. Wink. And hopefully we can reveal set of that soon. If you'd like some sneak peeks and hints and tips and tricks on what the hell I could be talking about, follow me on social media at BoyGreen25, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Those are the places to go. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for the super chats, guys. Those mean the world to me. I'm going to heal up, and we will be there in no time. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time right here on the channel. Thanks, everybody.